when, so many women sit here, they're crying, they're like, can we cut this? I'm like, why? You have no idea how many women you inspire just by speaking your truth. I hate so much that there's this stigma that after 30, you're not as desired, you're not as beautiful, you're not as
the best.
This is when the wisdom comes in, the enlightenment.
That's how you know that you have the real gift and the work towards your purpose.
You have such a vision, and the way you do things is so powerful. I mean, he's a guy I've known for years, and he's like, I don't even know what you do. He's like, what do you just talk all day? I always felt so many women have a lot to share, but they don't. And a lot of his ancestral wounds of women being told to, not speak up or not talk too much, or
don't be too loud.
Don't be too loud. Don't be too skinny. Don't be too big. A million things. I am so honored to have you. You are such a special, special woman. You bring so much wisdom through your work and your connection of highlighting other women, other companies. Tell everyone who you are.
Thank you so much for having me first. I am honored to be invited to be here, and I'm super happy to connect with you and to meet you a little bit more. Thank you, Shermin.
Yeah, Shermin's the best. She's such a connector.
She's such a connector.
She really is.
I love it. Well, there are like, how can I talk about me? Like, it's very uncomfortable to talk about me, I think.
Yeah, who are you?
I am Liandra, mom, a friend, good friend, and a person who loves life, who works with marketing, and who built brands. And what else can I tell about me? It's hard.
Because
right?
You're the woman that's used to being behind the scenes.
Because I'm a behind the scenes person.
Yeah.
So when I put myself in the spotlight, I was like,
you're like, wait a second. I'm the one that highlights everyone else.
If I have to describe you, if I have to describe anyone else in this room, like, it's easier. But when I have to describe yourself, but it's good because it makes you think, like, who are you?
Who are you? Mm-hmm. Why did you get into what you do, and tell everyone what it is that you do and who you represent, and why did you even get into it?
So I moved to the US 20 years ago. I'm Brazilian, and I always worked in fashion. So I used to work with Vogue, from the sales department to the creation. And then when I came here, I had nobody, no network. I didn't know anybody. So I started working with the brands that I knew from Brazil that wanted to shoot here. So I started doing literally creative direction for the brands in Brazil. But then when I noticed that the brands, they would come here and they would spend so much money in wrong things, like doing wrong moves. Like, for example, the sales department was not connected with the logistics, that was not connected with the content creation. So everything was so disaligned. I decided to put together a place where they can have all the services with a 360 approach. So this was my first thought. Of course, like, throughout the years, I refined my business so much already because I feel like it's important for you to stop and reroute, and refine and change a little bit. Of course, because I didn't start with the perfect business. I remember I was thinking the other day, I remember that in the beginning, I was like, I just want to work with small brands, sustainable brands that are women. And then I realized, like, small brands, most of the small brands, they don't have the budget to hire an agency. So the math doesn't close by the end of the day. They have to bootstrap themselves and work themselves until they get to the position to work with an agency. So I was like, those kind of things that I was changing throughout the years. Now, of course, I have a little bit of the space on my agency for small brands, but mostly big brands, because this is how it works.
Who are some of your clients now? Because I know your clients, and they're very well known in my world, but for someone who doesn't know, who are your clients?
I have many. I have from fashion to wellness, beauty brands, and clothing, cars. I have a little bit of everything because I don't get more than one client in the same industry. So, for example, if I'm working with
one of my favorite ones is Happy Aging by Martha. I love that brand.
I love.
What do you do for them?
I work with Happy Aging since the first beginning when we start thinking about, before it was even Happy Aging, before like we had to create the name, we have to create the concept, packaging, I did the branding for them.
The branding, if you haven't seen this branding, it is so stunning but simple.
It's simple, but it's like, I think
with
it's
the gold
warm.
And the colors,
Yes.
and it's so elevated but simple.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
That was the idea.
You?
That was the idea, yes.
That's
my team,
crazy.
not me alone, because I don't do anything.
Of course.
Yeah, I don't do anything alone.
Wow.
But we do social media, all the campaigns, all the behind the scenes for them, like activations, events, everything.
So cool.
We just did a super cool collaboration for them. We put together a collaboration for them with Pura Vida.
Yes.
That was super, super, super cool. I love to put one of the things that I put on my strategy is always collaboration.
She actually gave me the email for the girl who does the collaborations with Pura Vida. I need to reach back out to her. It's so
should.
Smart. It's also building community.
It's
building community. I think that if you are an agency or someone that is in the marketing space, what's smart is building community within where you live. And I think that by doing these small moments, you build that.
Yeah. I believe so much in collaborations in between brands. Brands that are aligned, of course, we have to find the alignment point. But I believe so much because not just to tackle into their audience, and they grow your audience doing that, but also that is like a power, when you're together, when you're doing something together. It's like an exchange of energy. And energy is like actually the currents that I live for.
Speaking of energy, do you consider yourself religious, spiritual, neither, both, one or the other? And how did you get there?
So I grew up in a very religious home. Nowadays, I don't say that I'm religious, but I say that I'm spiritual, which in my understanding is different. I mean, I don't want to get in there because I don't know if I'm a specialist to talk about it. But I believe growing up in a very religious home, very loving, but very religious, gave me a lot of good skills. For example.
Foundation.
Yeah. Gives you foundation, gives you strength, gives you the belief that you can do things because you understand that is something bigger that takes care of you. And I always in my mind, I never doubt myself that I could do something. And even when something goes wrong, I still think in my mind, maybe I'm delusional, but I still in my mind, I think, this is gonna work. This was for the best, like even if something is wrong. And I think this comes from growing up like that, like you have to talk to God, you have to trust God, and those kind of things, I think, built the strength. Yes.
What I love about you is your energy always is really confident. You do have that certainty. And to be spiritual is to quite literally have the connection to certainty. That's what it means. You have certainty in something outside of yourself that it will all work out. Yeah. So even the way you're speaking is quite literally spiritual, because having spirituality and having the understanding of what it is to be spiritual is to have certainty that no matter what, it will work out.
Yeah. I think for me, because I grew up in this environment, like very, very religious, like there are some people that you kind of, like you start like getting a little bit more towards your spirituality than actually going to a church or actually say that you have, I'm from this religion. And I think this is also like, kind of a freedom, like that you can carry that connection wherever you go. You don't need like a specific place to be. Like for me, that was like very much like liberator. And I mean, that's how I decided to live.
Beautiful. It's so funny because we all really, to know the women we spend time with, we all gravitate towards one another because we all think very similarly. There's no cap on what we can do. There's no cap on what's possible. We're all really spiritual and we're all from very different backgrounds. I mean, Jewish. Christian, Muslim. We have the United Nations within
and that's
all of
beautiful.
We really do. We really do. And one thing that ties us all together is the spiritual component. And when you have that, you start to pull in similar style women. And they have no cap on anything. It's really, really powerful.
That's true. It's powerful.
It's really powerful. What is next for you for work, for life, for career? And then I want to talk about personal, because you made a big shift personally. But prior to that, with work, what do you see next in terms of expansion? Because you are so expansive. How do you plan to expand? What do you want to do next?
Of course, I have plans, but one thing that I do constantly, I'm always looking for alignment with myself. I always look, that is an exercise that I do. And every time that I talk to someone else, like, this is something you have to incorporate in your life. You have to do this exercise constantly with yourself. Is the place that I'm in, it still fits me? Is this place still making me happy? Is still the place for me? Because if not, let's reroute. And this is for everything. This is for work. Like I told you, like I have shifted many times my business, like, little adjustments, but this is for personal life. If you're not, check your relationship, check who you are as a friend, who you are as a mom, because there is always time to reroute and be in the position that makes you really, really happy. So I say that I look for my happiness. I want to be in a place that I have, that's that you love the place that you are in, that you get excited to work in the morning, and go and do it, that you get excited with the person that you were with, that you look and like, yes, I woke up next to this person.
To someone I love and I appreciate. That's
so this is the constant exercise, because otherwise you just go with the flow and you put yourself in this automatic pilot that you just do things and
correct, and you're not thinking
and
about
you're not
with
thinking,
intention.
not feeling, you're not enjoying.
What do you do in the morning? Do you have a morning or nighttime routine that you keep kind of consistent, or not really?
Not really. I would love to, but I literally, the first thing that I do is grab my phone.
I know, same. And I want to change that, because
I want to change that too.
It's so frustrating to wake up and roll over in a meeting. Nothing crazy is happening at 6:30 or 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, but I don't wake up this time. I'm not.
I want to be more present. Actually, one of my girlfriends who came on the podcast, she told me about the hatch alarm.
I have never.
So it's an alarm that is beautiful. It wakes you up to music. It creates a sunrise so that you can keep your phone in another room, so that you're not waking up to your phone alarm and checking it. Yeah, it's a device. It's like a beautiful round circle. It has this golden light.
Ooh.
It's called Hatch, HATCH, for anyone listening. And it wakes you up in a beautiful type of way versus like, and then you're checking your phone while you're turning off your alarm. So that's my next step. And I've been saying this for 2 weeks, which is a reminder that I'm buying this literally
we're gonna
today.
do this week.
I'm buying this thing today.
That's your week to do it.
Okay, so no crazy morning routine or nighttime routine.
No,
you
I'm
flow
not
every
really.
day.
Yeah, I'm not really like a morning person. So I wake up, like it takes me a while to, to get in track. Yeah. But the first thing I do is the phone, and I want to change that too. I want to wake up. This is my goal too. This is my goal. I want to wake up and I want to be able to stay in bed and manifest the day that I want to have. This is what I want to do. Like,
do you know how to do that?
No, I want to.
Journal.
Yeah, journal.
You journal it. I journal every morning, and every night I keep it next to my nightstand. And by journaling in the morning, you're going to help manifest throughout your day. Yeah. It's really powerful.
Change the vibe, the energy of the day, the clarity.
You're setting the tone. Mm-hmm. It's not just an Instagram thing. It really does work. A lot of people are, journal. But it works because you're speaking it out loud and you're writing it. So you're putting the word, thought, and action into motion.
And as you do that, also brings you clarity of what you want to do. And that's the most important thing, when you know, like, what is priority, what is not. So that's why I wanna do that.
And helps you stay in alignment.
Yes.
Speaking of alignment, we met in New York through our mutual girlfriend, and she was like, Liz, you have to meet this woman. She's unbelievable. She's so smart. She's also a mom. Blah, blah, blah. Kept going on and on. I was like, okay, great. And she said to me, she goes, she has a really interesting story personally too. She was married to someone for 12 years.
14.
Left, 14.
14.
14 years, left, and now is married to a woman. I was like, wow, that's so powerful. Tell everyone, because there might be a woman in her 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s who is in a relationship where she feels like a piece of it is missing or part of her soul is not aligned. What was that moment for you? And what can you tell the woman that's questioning this, or perhaps she's embarrassed or she doesn't know how to take that next step? What was it for you?
I think it's allowing yourself to really experience life and to go for what you really want without thinking about other people. You know, when you put yourself as a priority, you always gonna go towards the thing that makes you happy. You know, like it's not just about women and men. It's about actually to be with the person that you wanna be. You know, like, and that's when I say to you like that, not being so religious but being spiritual is liberating. It's because of that, because you can explore things that maybe the religious is gonna put, but God like wants to see you happy or whatever, like energy you it's, you know, above you, wants to see you happy, wants you to love, wants you to be loved. So I mean, it's just that, just
even the opposite, fear even stems from love, fear of not having it, fear of being too far away from it, fear of not experiencing it. So even fear stems from love.
Yeah.
And I always remind women that God is not an old man in the sky with a white beard. God is energy, and we're fragments of energy. And God always comes from love, compassion, kindness. So if you are nervous about your religious background, or you know, your community not approving of the way you live, remember that God does not judge. God does not instill fear.
That's true.
That is the truth. So for women who are perhaps from religious backgrounds, and they're like, well, what if I don't want to be with a man anymore and I want to be with a woman? Will I be judged? Will I not be loved? And it's such a reminder, especially to young women, that you are loved, you are chosen, and to not fear.
I would ask myself why I'm so afraid to be judged by people. You know, why? Why? What did they matter? Like, why? Their opinion matters for you. No,
100%.
It shouldn't.
That's I get asked this all the time in seminars, on Instagram DMs, but I come from this. I understand. I totally understand. But to be spiritual, to have an inner knowing, what is wisdom? What is spirituality? It's a connection to thyself. And in order to understand thyself, you need to have an inner compass. It's called a woman's intuition, not a man's intuition. We love men. I love men, but it's called a woman's intuition because we are the vessel to receiving and to understanding. So if we don't have that inner knowing, how can we show up authentically? How can we show up our most highlighted selves when we're so obsessed and concerned with what she's going to think and what he's going to think? And I'm no longer with a man, I'm now with a woman. But this is your life. You have this life to be authentic to yourself.
And why you need validation from strangers or from people that they don't care about if you're happy or not, because this is what matters, you know, nothing else.
Were your parents taken aback? Were they upset coming from a religious
background? My father
background?
just passed away a month ago.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, he was battling cancer for a long time. But because they're super religious, they were not. But this is their story. I cannot live my life with their point of view as much as I love them. I love them. My father was the best man that ever exists in the world. Like, he was the best father ever. And I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
I'm so sorry.
No. Oh, you're gonna make me cry.
It's my cut. You're gonna cut.
Why? This is so beautiful. Sorry. You're making me cry. Why would we cut this?
I'm so sorry.
Oh.
But I like, this is your life. You know, you cannot live your life. And I don't want my daughter. I have a daughter. I have a son. And I don't want them to live their lives under my standards. I want them to do whatever they have to do to be happy. You know, have just this life to live. I'm so sorry.
Don't be sorry. You don't understand how many times Mateo has seen me and someone else cry, because these conversations, these are really important conversations to have, because you don't know who else you're inspiring. You don't know.
Yeah.
That's why I do what I do, you know?
That's amazing.
One of my friends asked me, he's a guy I've known for years, and he's like, I don't even know what you do. He's like, what do you just talk all day? And I said to him, I said, I always felt so many women have a lot to share, but they don't. And a lot of his ancestral wounds of women being told to, not speak up or not talk too much, or
don't be too loud.
Don't be too loud. Don't be too skinny. Don't be too big. A million things. And I have one of my gifts. We all have gifts. My gift is gift of voice. And if I can help other women share their voice to inspire others and somehow turn it into a career, God only knows how I did that. But when, so many women sit here, they're crying. They're like, can we cut this? I'm like, why? You have no idea how many women you inspire just by speaking your truth, point blank. That's it. And everyone who sits in this chair is like, wait, why did I get emotional? And I'm like, because you're finally sharing your voice. And how powerful is that? And you really found yourself. And I think that women, I hate so much that there's this stigma that after 30, you're not as desired, you're not as beautiful, you're not
as the best.
This is when the wisdom comes in, the enlightenment, the strength. And then we're able to pass that on. And there's some 20-year-old girl from Brazil listening to this who is like, wait, I see myself in her. And that's when everything shifts. That's when everything shifts. And I get messages time after time again of like, wow, I never realized that there's someone like me. And that's really powerful.
That's powerful. And that's how you know that you have the real gift and the work towards your purpose. Yeah. I think it's super important to have a purpose too. Yeah. And then I'm very moved to things that brings something back for me, for the people around me, for the world that I live in. This is how it should be.
Yeah. Oh, I love you so much, Liandra. Oh my God, this is so powerful. When it comes to being mission-based, how do you incorporate this into work? If I'm a client, why would I work with you? How do you bring your mission into every day? Like, how you have such a vision, and the way you do things is so powerful. I mean,
I think
you work with incredible people.
Yeah, I think, like I said, like your skill is the voice. I think I have a very big understanding of people. I have a lot of patience, not because of my mom, because each one is different, but I have an understanding of people and what they want to achieve. And I put a lot of the success of my work towards that. So you don't arrive at my agency and I'm going to do a copy-paste service to all my clients. I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to understand what you want. Because some people, they want to go like really high. I want to sell. I want to do this. Some people, they want to
a family brand, something more boutique.
They want to, they have something inside that they want to achieve, and it's something that is personal, So I want to see my brand in this position. It's not just about the sale. I want to see my brand, so each one is different. And when you understand that, that's when you start creating the strategy that actually reflects and makes the client happy. Because if you do copy and paste, forget about it.
No, absolutely. Are you working on any projects right now that you can share that are really exciting?
We are working on the collaboration of Valentina Zini and Casa Tua. We just shot this week, which is super cool. Casa Tua, you know Casa Tua?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
For those who don't know, explain what it is.
Casa Tua is the restaurant, hotel, is a family Italian.
It's super sexy in Miami.
Super, super, super. The coolest place in town, like old school, but with the vibe that like you can go there. There is always the consistency, the details. They have in Aspen now. They are opening Capri, I think. New York as well. So I love Casa Tua. There is no way to go wrong when you go there. They have also the members club upstairs here in Miami Beach. I mean, I love it. And now we put together, like as I said, I love collaborations. We put together collaboration with Eglantina Zing in Casa Tua, and it's coming out soon.
With who?
Eglantina Zing, the perfume that I gave.
Brand.
Yeah.
So she just gifted me. For those who don't, I was like, wait, with who? Because I didn't read the brand. And I'm definitely not going to pronounce it correctly. This perfume, I just put it on. It smells like...
Eau de Ginger, the name.
It smells like south of France meets spring. I don't even know how to explain. It's so sexy. It's so feminine. Yeah. So, wow, what an interesting collab.
And it's so fun. It's so funny because how the perfume, like the smell... is different for each one of like one day like we gave this to a friend as well, like a friend of a friend, and when she opened and she smelled, she started crying. She's like, this reminds me of my grandmother. Aww. So scents are so strong because like goes deep in your memory. You cannot remember, you can forget visually the voice, but the smell is something that never goes away. It's very powerful.
And it's fun because you get to bring brands that are not necessarily in the same wheelhouse, a restaurant and a perfume brand, to what seems like completely opposite things. But the truth is it ties in memory, emotion, feeling. And Casa Tua also, when you're eating there, it's an experience. Yeah. So you're really combining experiences together.
Yeah. You have to find the little point that they have in common. But from there, you can explore, you can do whatever. You can do a perfume with a car brand. You can do a liquor brand with, gym clothes. Like it's basic on your creativity, but they have to have a little bit of alignment on what they want to show and what the brand's
feeling wise
core.
Yeah. Oh my God, this is so fun. What is, I know we talked about this earlier, but what is something you want to do? Would you ever create a brand? What is something personally that you would want to do in this space outside of representing others? Or are you happy doing this?
No, I'm happy.
Okay.
I'm super happy.
Because you know how some people in marketing and PR, they end up creating their own and they get really inspired?
What I do, which business-wise was a smart move for me, I take a little percentage of, if I get a small brand or like I'm start building a brand from the ground, usually on my contract, I also request a percentage of the brand, especially if I believe in the brand.
Which and if most people don't know about this, but it's a smart move because when brands are building, they don't necessarily have the budgets, but they want to work with someone like you that's really talented. So they try to figure out how to offset the cost.
And that's what I do. So I get a little share of the brand. So I own a little bit of many different...
All your children.
All
Literally all your children. You're like, that's my child, that's my child.
Exactly.
It makes sense. It makes sense. And that's also the beauty of working with a more boutique agency is you're getting more of you and your team versus a large agency, which still has a lot of benefits, a larger agency. But with you, they're getting more personal, tailored communication. Plus, if you believe in the brand, you'll take less cash up front and more of a trade-off.
And if I'm in the brand, if I own a little bit of the brand, like everything that I'm going to do is like as an owner, So it's like not just a client or someone that I don't care that I'm going to just like, whatever, do whatever. No, this is my brand, So it's a very important shift. That's why I don't like to work with this many brands from the same, category. If I'm working with wellness, I'm going to work with this brand. I'm going to give my all to them, like all my ideas towards wellness, all the strategy that we put together, all the information, all the data that we collect is for that brand. So we're going to elevate the brand. We're going to make the best wellness brand. If I'm working with this brand as a car, it's the same. So that's why I decided to do
Now I'm like, I wish I had a brand so that you could blow it up. Like this is so...
Well, you should have.
I know.
You are a brand. You are a brand. I work with many personalities that they are brands as well. So you can have license your name under other with other brands. We can do collaboration. We can start like that.
Yeah.
And then eventually when you see like what my audience actually is consuming from me, what they need, what, like is missing in the market, what's my value proposition, what I can bring to the table.
Yeah.
And that's when you put a product.
Brilliant.
But first you have to understand what your audience needs. But you're already a brand. You're already a brand.
Yeah. It's so interesting because I get told that all the time, but in my eyes, I'm here to add value. I'm on a mission just to help women think, be, and act better.
But this is it.
Yeah.
You do that and you're still a brand.
Yeah.
You're Liz Kennedy.
Yeah.
And Liz Kennedy brand.
Yeah, I mean, the LLC is Liz Kennedy LLC.
Exactly.
So look at that. We're learning new things every day. Where can everyone find you? Where can they find your website? Where they can find you on social media and what platforms?
I'm on Instagram and LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, yeah.
So my company is called Skep 360.
Spell that out.
SKEP 360. And skep360.com. Skep360 on Instagram. My Instagram is Liandra. You know what? It's funny. When I divorced from my first husband, I used to have his last name. So I was known as Liandra Salles, but it was his last name. And then at some point I was like, you know what? I'm not going to have a last name anymore. I'm not. What Shakira doesn't have, Beyonce doesn't have, I'm not going to have a last name.
You're like, I'm going to say my name three times.
Say my name 3 times and people will remember.
The power of 3.
Yeah.
And in
exactly
Christianity,
that.
it's the Trinity.
Exactly
and
that.
In the Tree of Life in Kabbalah, it's the Tree of Life. It's broken into 3s. 3 Abrahamic Accords, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. The power of 3 and the number 3 is insanely powerful. So Liandra.
Yes. So I was like, now this is it.
So this is where you can find her if you want more information on branding, marketing, if you have a brand, if you want to bring it to life. You are so amazing. Thank you so much. And I'm not cutting the part out of us crying because that is the powerful part. And that's what makes us human. That's the woman behind making everyone else powerful. You are the woman making so many brands and people powerful. So
thank you.
Thank you for being you.
I just love to be able, like you said, to bring a voice. I love to be able to bring that stage, for people that I really believe. And I like, as I said, energy is my currency. So it doesn't matter. You can be like the most talented person, but if you don't bring that good energy to whatever you do, you're not a person to work with me. So I like to work with this kind of energy that is here now.
Beautiful. Thanks
I
for
love
being
it.
here.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.
I love it.